Lot to talk about how we manage workplace pressures, particularly when the environment can sometimes be one where there's uncertainty in what we're required to do or the direction of travel that's needed. So, how do we manage uncertainty and constant change? We all operate in a world now where change is a constant. There is things move at pace, and things that we start on one day, by the end of the following week, it may be a different requirement that's in place. We've had to shift the boundaries a little bit. So, how do we build that ambiguity, that tolerance when there is ambiguity at play? Few methods. Obtain a clear objective. What outcome matters the most? So even if the path isn't clear, what would the end goal, the end success look like? Establish the solid ground. So what are the confirmed facts? What decisions have been made? What are the non-negotiables? What are the compliance pieces that we just cannot deviate from? Make assumptions and be specific about those assumptions. Write them out and share them, and it invites people to correct them if those assumptions are not right. What outputs are reversible? Make a call and learn fast, adjust. So what outputs are irreversible? Gather more input, slow down, and test those risks. So what I mean by that is if there's reversible output, we'll have a go and we'll do it this way based on what we think is going to happen. Hopefully we get it right. But if we do get it wrong, it's not the end of the world. Yes, there's rework to be done, and yes, that's time consuming, costly, but it's not as damaging as something where the output could be irreversible, where when we set something in play, there is no going back from it, or it's very, very difficult to go back. So determine which are which, and you can make a call and move fast with the reversible ones. Adjust if you need to later on. With the irreversible ones, don't rush in, gather that more input and test before moving forward. Of the unknown factors, what actually matters? Split it down to three categories. Is it something where we need to know it's critical, it impacts on the direction? Is it something that's important? It might affect our approach, but it's not critical. Is it something that's peripheral, get my words out, peripheral? It would be nice to know, but we can move ahead without it. So don't feel you have to wait till you've got all the certainties in place. Is it critical? Is it important? Is it peripheral? You can determine which, then you may be able to move forward with at least some of it. And as the previous book said, if it's reversible, it's not the end of the world if we go in the slightly wrong direction. If it's irreversible, then it puts it into a harder place to change from. Communicate what you know, communicate what's unclear, communicate what actions you're taking despite the uncertainty. In doing that, those updates will come. Stay outcome focused. So remember that very first box, what outcome matters the most? Stay focused on that. Don't necessarily seek perfection where every I is dotted and every T is crossed. Just maintain that end goal in place. Test assumptions with small groups and tap into peers who face similar situations. Ask stakeholders for context. Seek those experts to fill those knowledge gaps. So discover the real problem, frame outcomes instead of outputs, build a rolling wave or iterative delivery model, document assumptions, decisions, and the boundaries, and communicate with rhythm and structure. So the role becomes a problem framer, a translator, a sense maker, a navigator through those high seas. Facilitate knowledge from the clients. Ask questions of the client or the stakeholders concerned. What does success in 6 months look like? What happens if we don't do X, Y, and Z? What cannot change under any circumstance? Are there compliance pieces, things that we just cannot budge from? Build those iterative models, so short cycles, regular playback sessions, progressive clarification, evolving deliverables. This reduces the risk and you can correct assumptions that you've made very quickly. It'll also improve the client confidence with a response along the lines of, yes, that's what I meant, rather than us wading in without testing those assumptions. Define what is definitely in scope, what's probably in scope, what is explicitly out of scope. We don't need to worry about it. What assumptions are being made? And as I make those very transparent, very clear. Decision logs, put the decisions down, who made it, why it was made, and what the impact on the scope and the timeline is. That's not to hold blame later on. It's just so you've got that clarity of, that's why we reached that decision way back when. It was based on these factors and from the information we had at that time. Provide options, not questions. I've talked about this in some of the other sessions I do. Clients will always prefer, and stakeholders, not just clients, will always prefer to choose than make the definitions themselves. So over communicate with structure, manage expectations early, but give those options. Advise what the challenges are, but what possible solutions can be. Give the chance to choose from A, B, C, D, E, all the way to Z if necessary, rather than expecting the client come and define what they need for you.